Hello, Cowboys Nation! Let's go to another round of Dallas Cowboys news, but first leave your like so you don't miss any news from your team. Green Bay Packers vs. Dallas Cowboys for bold predictions for the NFL playoffs game. The Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers will renew their rivalry on Sunday in the NFC wildcard playoffs. These two teams have met in the postseason 8 times in their storied history. Dallas comes into this game as NFC East champions, having won 12 games for the third season in a row. Dak Prescott is playing at MVP level. CeeDee Lamb is on a roll. Green Bay has also won 6 of 8 games with young quarterback Jordan Love making his big break. With Dallas as 7.5-point home favorites, Green Bay have a task ahead of them. Below, we've provided 4 bold predictions for this NFL playoff game. Dak Prescott burns Green Bay Packers for 300 yards. From the end of October onwards, Dak Prescott was on a roll for the Cowboys. He averaged 290 yards per game, with 30 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in 11 games. That run obviously put Prescott in the NFL MVP conversation. More importantly, Prescott played like he was at home during the regular season. Dak Prescott's stats: at home 73% completion, 2,470 yards, 23 total TDs, 3 INTs. As for the Packers, they yielded the 9th fewest passing yards in the NFL during the regular year. Quarterbacks have also thrown just 21 touchdown passes against this unit. So it's a bold prediction that Prescott will surpass 300 yards. Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers throws 2 interceptions. Love's excellence during the second half of the Packers' regular season is already well known. After struggling early, he absolutely dominated as Green Bay won 6 of their last 8 games and earned a surprise trip to the NFL playoffs. What's at issue here for Green Bay is the fact that it relies on young receivers to do damage against one of the game's most aggressive secondaries. Dallas recorded 17 interceptions during the regular year, with Darren Bland, 9, leading the charge. Fellow cornerback Stephon Gilmore and safety Donovan Wilson also had 2 each. The matchup to watch here is Bland taking on Romeo Dew. The second-year receiver joins Christian Watson in getting pummeled in this one. That could also have an impact, as we predict Love will struggle in his first NFL playoff game. How good was Lamb during the last 11 games of the regular season? The Pro Bowl holder averaged 9 receptions for almost 116 yards and a touchdown per game. Lamb also finished the season scoring north of 150 yards 4 different times. Those are some incredible numbers. With Jaire Alexander nursing a freak ankle injury, we expect slot man K'Shawn Nixon to face Lamb often on Sunday afternoon in Dallas. The cornerback posted a 77.8% completion rate and a 104.8 QB rating when targeted during the regular season. That doesn't bode well for the Packers heading into this one. Dallas was perfect at home during the regular season, winning by an average of 3 touchdowns per game. Prescott and company averaged an impressive 36.1 points per game. This included victories over eventual playoff teams like the Los Angeles Rams and Detroit Lions. As for the Packers, they were a mediocre 4-5 away from Lambeau Field, with failures against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Denver Broncos, and Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, Love threw 7 of his 11 interceptions on the road. That will equate to a rather lopsided victory for the Cowboys. The Green Bay Packers hire the Super Bowl champion ahead of the Dallas Cowboys playoff game. Breakdown. The Green Bay Packers intend to make a statement on Sunday. Their first year with Jordan Love under center resulted in a playoff berth. Something his predecessor, Aaron Rodgers, failed to do. However, the Packers are far from being considered Super Bowl contenders this season. A win could change that. Meanwhile, the Cowboys also want to make a statement. The last time they advanced to the NFC Championship game was in 1995. Dallas wants to prove to the world that they are a true championship contender team. Today, the Packers brought back a familiar face to the team who saw similarities between this Packers team and the Super Bowl champion Rams, of which he was a member in 2022. The Green Bay Packers signed C.B. David Long Jr. to the practice squad and waived R.B. Kenyon Drake from the practice squad. General Manager Brian Gutekunst announced the transactions on Friday. Long Jr., 5'11", 196, a fifth-year player from the University of Michigan, returns to the Packers. He played 3 games for Green Bay after being claimed off waivers by the Carolina Panthers on December 5. Long was originally selected by the Los Angeles Rams in the 3rd round, number 79 overall, of the 2019 NFL Draft. He played 4 seasons for the Rams, 2019-22, before joining the Las Vegas Raiders last offseason. Long played 8 games with 1 start for the Raiders this season before being waived on November 2. He was then claimed by Carolina, where he played 3 games with 1 start. In his career, he has played 66 regular season games with 12 starts, recording 94 tackles, 81 solo, 1 interception, 8 passes defended and 2 tackles on special teams. Long appeared in 6 postseason contests with 1 start for the Rams, 2020-21, posting 12 tackles, 11 solo, 1 tackle for loss and 1 interception returned for a touchdown. He will wear number 30 for the Packers. It will be interesting to see if the Packers call Long up to the active roster with Jaire Alexander's availability in question. Long would certainly be an interesting option due to the fact that he has substantial playoff experience. Dallas had the highest scoring offense in the NFL this season, 29.9 points per game. Finding any way possible to slow them down will be key. Cowboys vs. Packers playoff prediction, 45-24. Says Keyshawn. Frisco Keyshawn Johnson, despite having once played in DFW, hasn't shown a propensity to be pro-Dallas Cowboys. But coming into this weekend, with the Green Bay Packers coming to town to open the NFL playoffs, he's pro-Cowboys now. There comes a time when I have to pick the Cowboys to win a boat race, 45-24, Johnson said on FS1. Johnson believes that the Cowboys' offense will be able to dominate an opponent at home once again. Dallas is 8-0 this year here at AT&T Stadium, and that their defense, led by the phenomenal Micah Parsons, will shut down late-season standout QB Jordan Love and the Packers' offense. Of course, a win would send the Cowboys into the NFC divisional round and guarantee them at least one more home game, where they've won 16 in a row. That's why, with no disrespect to the Pack or any future foe, we rate this as the easiest road to their first NFC championship game since 1995. Dallas coach Mike McCarthy scoffed at the idea that this franchise's history in that regard has anything to do with this game, scheduled to kick off at 3:30. Cowboys DT projected to leave team in free agency, potentially sign with Giants. The Dallas Cowboys aren't worried about free agency, but they are projected to see a former third-round pick leave the organization. Defensive tackle Neville Gallimore is in his 3rd year with Dallas, but will be a free agent this spring. Gallimore has been a useful player for the Cowboys since joining the team in 2020. However, he has seen his role reduced over the last 2 years. Now, Matt Holder of Bleacher Report is linking Gallimore to the New York Giants, Minnesota Vikings, and Arizona Cardinals in free agency. Gallimore's production is dismal, but he's also buried on the Cowboys' depth chart behind Osa Odigizwa, who is having an excellent season, Holder writes. The Oklahoma product didn't get much playing time this year, but he was a quality prospect coming out of college who could make an impact in both phases of the game. In free agency, he'll likely be looking for an opportunity to start a short-term contract, so it will be vital for him to make the most of the snaps he gets this weekend. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel to help the channel and so you don't miss any news from your team. Thank you.